Cronulla Sharks. Here in the Shire, in fact right across Sydney today, temperatures closer to 30 degrees. It is tempered a little for this evening. Not a bad breeze coming down the ground at the backs of the Sharks for this first half.
And you did mention their home record. They've won 9 out of 12 here. They've been very, very good. Like, remarkably, they come into this final series scoring less tries than any other team. Although their last month, they have got over 80 points. And they'll need to score some to beat this opposition. Jared Maxwell, his first finals appointment.
Yeah, it's better.
We wish him all the best as well.
Well, this is football in the suburbs. There's a real good feel here tonight. Enjoy it. Where you're watching at home, we're underway. Second qualifying final. And the Raiders go close to the sideline from the kickoff. And Fraser Anderson with the first touch. Wrapped up by Marshall Chalk. And straight away we can tell you Chalk is lining up in the centres. Colin Best, left wing. The change with Kelly relegated to the bench. Now Isaac de Gois, they work across field, an early shift from the Sharks. Seymour, intercept chance was on for Purtell. He can snap one up, but he put that one down. It was a try. It was a try, all to be done.
Well, he's a thief. He is a dead set thief, Adrian Purtell. He comes up with plenty of intercepts. He came up with one last week against the Bulldogs when the Raiders needed it. And in the first set of 6 of the game, the Sharks, looking to play an expansive brand, gets his hands to the football. Oh, try gone begging.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, last week, Laurie, that one you mentioned, he had to run 90 metres. Then he would have only had to run 9 metres to score.
Well, that would have been a bit ironic, wouldn't it, if he'd have scored that try. First 2 finals matches, intercepts, opening the way. I just couldn't believe the play from Cronulla. He might be a thief, but gee, they look to put it on a platter for him. Fraser Anderson now outside the 30.
And only just tackled there by Campese and also young Joe Picker, 20 years of age in the back row. Gallen, they've put it down. It was Simmons. And the Raiders get a chance inside the Sharks' half. No shortage of ball movement from the Sharks early. Now Tongue. Raiders are going to do the same. Put down by Buttress. Scooped up there by Pomeroy. Look forward to Cavell. Cavell's inside the 40. And tackled by Glenn Buttress. Well, we didn't see this coming, but it's a carry-on from last night. Great start here. Here's Ben Ross tackled 25 metres out from the Raiders line. De Gois, Kamali inside with Adam Peake. One of the veterans on show. Nice offload. De Gois got it away. And Ross will play it. First time in finals footy since the Panthers grand final year of 03. Kamali, 10 out from the line. Goes deep, looks promising. Seymour to Carney. Carney over Talapapa. Talapapa back infield. Got away from a couple. And is stopped 5 metres short of the line. Dummy half is Simmons. This is Seymour again. Steadies the ship. Finds Gallen. Gallen will be held. Good tackle. Tongue over the top. That is 10 out. Buttress was the other man in the tackle. Last now. Kamali chips over the top. Best is there. Best has lost it. Messi Talapapa has scored for the Sharks. First try to Cronulla. Only his 3rd try for the year. The Sharks 4, the Raiders 0, and a former Shark made the error.
And a crazy start to this game. Nerves from both teams. Firstly, the intercept should have seen Purtell score. The Raiders should be on the board. Then they dropped it the first time they were given possession, and Colin Best moved on to the wing, normally pretty safe in that area. In fact, might be one of the reasons they moved him out there to defuse these kind of kicks. But a simple drop was above his head, actually hit his head on the way down, and Talapapa dives across, opening points.
It was the start the Sharks were looking for, playing at home. It brings the crowd into the game. Brett Kamali usually kicks to the other side of the field looking for Luke Cavell. On this occasion, it was Talapapa coming up with a football. Best not happy with himself. And the Sharkies will play from in front.
And I'm thinking all night, in fact, all week leading up to this game, that the high kick, all the action's going to be on the other side of the field. Monahan up against Cavell and Pomeroy out there. But the first tries come up on the right-hand side.
Well, you don't kick to that side because Missy Talapapa has got the height to get over Colin Best. And Luke Cavell, who finished the season as leading point scorer. A great year for this man, recently re-signed for a further year with the Sharks. Second on the point scoring behind Hazemel Masri last year. And
he's got it, Sterlo, and he's got 198 for the year. Andrew Johns, part of the commentary team tonight on the sideline.
He'd be disappointed with that, Colin Best. In the warm-up, the Raiders were very diligent in their warm-up, catching bombs. Their outside backs done several catches, like catching the ball AFL style, not traditionally chesting the ball. You see there, Colin Best tried to catch the ball with his hands up in the air. Disappointing result.
Yeah, former Shark made his debut for Cronulla, 98, Colin Best, and Engadine Dragons Jr. Raiders don't toy with the sideline with that restart. And up comes Ben Ross charging at them, and is held up 15 metres out from the Cronulla line. Picker was there with Campese, and this is the try scorer, Talapapa. And well contained that time. Dane Tilse up there to make the tackle. De Gois takes off. Got away from Nigel Plum. The crowd thought Plum wasn't square at marker. And now Talapapa centre field with Kamali back in for Ross, and head jolted in the tackle there of Dane Tilse, and big boppers as Laurie put it up front tonight. Seymour across with Gallen. He had support there, went around the back of Pomeroy, and Cavell was wide. He held his width out on the wing and didn't get the ball. Last tackle Cronulla. Kamali kicks from just inside his own half. It was harassed there by the opposing captain, Alan Tongue. This is David Milne, a real success story. Former house painter at fullback.
I've got to ask the question, Bossy. That should have been a penalty there to the Raiders. There was a dead set. Shepherd, there was an obstruction. He ran around a player. You're not allowed to do that.
Old-fashioned Shepherd. That's, we say obstruction too often. Shepherd seems to have drifted out. That was a Shepherd, his best. And he's able to offload. It's loose, but it's fielded by Picker. Enormous raps on this young man. He's missed only one game this year. Has progressed very nicely through the ranks. Tilse, and then Campese. Out it comes for Buttress. Pomeroy came up quickly, couldn't make the tackle. And they're 10 metres inside their own half. Campese. Raiders have had a mountain of points in them. Interesting stat though, the last time these clubs met, in fact the only time they met this year, it was the highest tally the Sharks have scored in a match, which sort of flies in the face of all the stats you would have been delivered this week. That 36-24, most points the Sharks scored in a game this year.
Well, the Raiders scored 52 last week, obviously, against Canterbury, but they allowed the Wooden Spooners to score 7 tries in reply, as Talapapa a bit ginger after that. We know they can score points, but they can leak some, and they've done so already in this game.
Douglas back up to the 40 there. He was held by Campese. Now to Gurks, on to Ross, and Ross has started this match in grand style. He is really surging onto the football. De Gois out for Seymour. In they come with Gallen. Gallen's lost it. No strip. Play on Canberra. So another error from Cronulla, which is a little unlike them. Now Monahan's got it. Their player of the year announced during the week. The Meninga medal, and quite fitting that the first time the award named after Mal, that a centre should win it. Ball kicked back. Good hands. Quickly on. It comes to Picker. He's got Best in support. Doesn't offload. And has wrapped up 6 metres inside the Canberra half. It's 6-0 to Cronulla. And now Hinchcliffe. When it comes to Scott Logan. He is the oldest member of this Canberra side at 32. Signed up for next year. Hinchcliffe away to Best. Hinchcliffe would want to be careful. He did some interference with a marker there. And now Chalk spins it inside for Campese. They caught Tilse flat-footed. Total breakdown for the Raiders there. And Tilse will play it 30 metres out from the Cronulla line. Last tackle. Home final hit of the Sharks as Campese goes high. Out towards Cavell. Pomeroy gets in the way. Knocked down there by the centre Monahan. They will kick to him all night, Joel Monahan.
And Buttress reclaimed the football, but not touched by the opposition. And speaking of the halves, Terry Campese spending a lot of time as the first receiver, actually pushing Glenn Buttress a little bit wider. And hopefully that won't inhibit his running game at all, the number 6.
Not that it's a major move, but I think we've observed that Best has been playing centre in attack and Chalk on the wing. And in attack, Best has been going into the centres. In attack and out on defence, he's out here on the left wing. Wasn't able to defuse that first kick. Here's De Gois. And he just runs into the 2 markers there. A gain of about 50 centimetres. Logan and Campese, the tacklers. Now Carney, it comes on for the 5'8" Brett Seymour, and that kick deep. It took a big first bounce, and Canberra will get a 20-metre restart out of that. It looks a pretty fast, dry surface for tonight.
There wasn't much breeze out there early in the night, Vossi. The temperature was quite, well, it cooled off a lot from what it was this afternoon. But the Sharks will take advantage of any breeze.
Now Nigel Plum with the ball and driven sideways by Gallen. Strong as an ox. And they're on their own 20, and again a breakdown of play. Tilse was running a most unusual line. He was running towards the sideline when that ball was coming out of dummy half.
Well, I don't think they know what to do at the moment, the Raiders, whether to use the ball wide or go forward. The instructions early in the game would be to go forward. Get your kick-chase game happening early. Work your way into it. Sorry, mate.
On it goes to Campuzzi, out the Best. And Best puts a fend there out on Simmons and managed to get to halfway. Campuzzi wants to bring Chalk infield now. Here he is, Marshall Chalk. He's off to the Celtic Crusaders, along with another Raider in Lincoln Withers. Last tackle again for Canberra. Hinchcliffe to Campuzzi, runs it on the last, then kicks. And Cavell goes for an ambitious-looking trap. Side on, outside of the boot. But on his game last week, he can do anything off the boot.
That was pretty successful as well. As we see a 10 offside penalty against the Raiders. Been a poor start for them. Only trailing by 6, but as I mentioned earlier, they look nervous. And maybe that's understandable, not much finals experience out there, but Cavell, he can't do anything wrong. Took the knock-on out of play using the boot.
It was incredible what he produced last week. Absolutely dynamic against the Cowboys. And here are the Sharks inside the Canberra half, and here is Adam Peake, balding Adam Peake, hitting the ball up, and that's a pretty good charge as well. Put a nice charge on Dane Tilse as Luke Douglas goes left side. 73rd consecutive game tonight for Luke Douglas. What a record that is since debut. Now Ben Ross thrown down in the tackle there of Plum and Dane Tilse. 25 metres out from the line. De Goyce for Kamali. Plenty of runners to pick from. He chose Anderson, who's become so dangerous on this right side for the Cronulla Sharks. De Goyce falling past there. Kamali, Carney, Talapapa has done it again! Missy Talapapa has dived over. He reckons he scored. He couldn't care less about the corner post. Don't ask me to spell his name, but Missy Talapapa has got 2 tries.
It's M-I-S-I, Bossy, not that tough. And I'm not as confident as what he is. This is going to be very tight. Well-constructed move there. You see this play so often from teams in the NRL just looking to create something on the outside. He gets down low, dives in. The defence arrives. It's looking better now. Oh, gee, I think the elbow has just missed that corner post. We'll get a look at another angle, but so far, it all looks positive.
Well, when you're defending a short side, I'm of the belief that you need to be compressed a little bit away from the sideline and move out towards it. Show the opposition the sideline. Use that as a defender. Colin Best jamming in and Talapapa going across, and that will be a try. Terrific play down the short side. Poorly read by the Raiders' defence, but this is a tremendous effort by Talapapa.
Gee, they've finished well, the wingers, haven't they, for Cronulla in recent times? 2 now for this man. Great effort from Luke Cavell last week. Come on, give him the try. Let's get on with the game.
2 in the video referee's box tonight. Steve Clark, Russell Smith. I don't think I've ever seen a player go closer to the corner post without touching it. Missy Talapapa. And it is a try there, second of the night. Finals football on 9. Well, that has excited the local crowd here to hit 10-0 after 12 minutes of play. And the try scorer twice, Missy Talapapa. Finals football live on Channel 9, and Missy Talapapa going into tonight had just 2 tries for the season. Well, 12 minutes on, he's now got 4. He's doubled that tally. And that is wonderful finishing there.
And it's well constructed there. David Simmons going through as the decoy runner. That attracted the defender in. It allowed Brett Carney to come around the back. 2-on-1. And Colin Best decided to stay with the passer of the football. And that allowed a little bit more space for Talapapa down that corridor. As Cavell looks to convert the second.
And looking for a bit of Sharks history here. Luke Cavell wide of the posts. If he gets the next one, he reaches 200 points. Only the 4th Shark ever to do that. Andrew Johns sideline.
And Terry Campese, a lot of pressure tonight. Probably the only attacking weapon for the Raiders. The Sharks are running a lot of traffic at him down that left side. He's already made 9 tackles. I think he's going to make a lot more tonight.
Time to run.
And 9 is level with Dane Tilse at the top of the count for the Raiders, Joey. Well observed. Here's Canberra on the restart of play, and Ben Ross again, his mission is to run into Scott Logan and get smashed. Mission accomplished. Straight back to his feet though. That's a bit of Roosters Broncos there from last night. Combined kilos there about 230. All shoulder from Scotty Logan. Oh yeah. 30 metres out from their own line. De Goyce, Kamali, Gallen with the ball. Gallen wrapped up there by Hinchcliffe and Tongue. They've got some real street fighters, figuratively. The Canberra Raiders players like Hinchcliffe and Tongue and Buttress. Nigel Plum, last tackle here for Cronulla. Now Kamali, this kick is from inside the 40, then was hit by Tongue. And no call there from the officials, so play on. Colin Best back to the 30. Very little margin for error in that challenging the kicker these days.
Especially with Brett Kamali, because he's not a player that stands back deep to kick the football. He actually goes to the line and kicks through the line, which means that the defenders get to him much more easily. He's kicking the football up close to the defensive line. We have seen that pulled up in the past through this season.
Now Plum will play it 5 metres inside the Sharks half. On tackle 4, they come to centre field. Tongue has gone into a first receiver role. And this is Logan, wrapped up 35 metres from the Cronulla line. Still a chance to put an attacking kick in. Campese, no, he just dabs it to the corner. Talapapa and Carney are across there. Man of the moment, we see Talapapa with the ball. And as they look to pass, the ball is loose. It was loose for a second and Carney latched onto it. Missy Talapapa, what are you doing?
He has got that in his game, Missy. A brain explosion now and again. He got away with one that time.
Oh, and Ross is whacked out again, and here's Talapapa. Well, you know, yeah, good luck, Brett. Brett Carney is fullback. Catch this with 4 on you, 1 metre out from the line. Sharks have lost the ball. Not for the first time inside their own half, and they want to have a little look at a replay here.
Clarkie, get a replay this.
It's unbelievable these days. When players feel as though they've lost the football, they call and tell the referee, hey, go to the video referee, and invariably the referee goes to them. He believes the player. I think they've just got to make their mind up whether they believe there's been hand on the football or not.
Well, that was one-on-one for my money when the ball came loose.
Yeah, Hinchcliffe was the man who raked it out, but it's been called play on, which I think is an excellent call. And Campese will feed the scrum.
29 metres out from the Cronulla line. And they need points to settle down the Canberra Raiders and to get into the contest on the scoreboard. Monahan, it's a good battle out of that side tonight. Monahan and Pomeroy, 2 very strong centres. And now with Plum, good hit and spin. Pass was loose, but it was still on. Campese with it. And Campese gets it back in the field for Logan. 15 out from the line, but I'll stop short of saying a bit of a rabble at the moment, but certainly not a well-oiled machine. A long way short of it, Canberra in attack. Tongue to Campese. Pick up, this is better for Best. Best is 5 metres out from the line. Ridden across field there by Kamali and Simmons. And Monahan finds himself on the left side of the field this time. Campese inside the Tilse. So what's happened there? Monahan's now out on the left wing.
They might be looking to kick this side to the shorter man in Talapapa at the end of it.
And that's the way they go. Campese, Storlo spotted it. Here's Monahan with the catch. Offload Comes back for Picker. Keeps him alive. Ross gets to the ball. Cronulla 10 metres out from the line. 12, or rather 10 points to nil. But that was the closest call the Raiders have had since Purtell almost snaffled an intercept inside the first 2 minutes.
And Kate Snowden on for the Cronulla side in jersey 16. Ben Ross with his arms up above his head. Got a couple of beauties from Scott Logan. Pretty good opening, 17, 18 minutes.
Ross, 11 hit-ups and 6 tackles. I thought it was an outstanding opening from a player who has 6 State of Origin matches in his resume. Kamali kicks again. Tongue got him as he kicked. But play on again is the call. And Milne comes back. I think Tongue's more the worse for wear there. That's probably getting a little close, that one.
That's a penalty.
Yeah, I'll agree with that one. It's no secret the Raiders are trying to apply as much pressure as they can to Brett Kamali's kicking game. He has got one of the best kicking games in the competition.
Tongue split at the moment, and that treatment is happening in the Sharks' defensive line. So here's Logan. He's with the ball, 45 metres out from the Sharks line, and Snowden makes the tackle, the former Knight. Now Hinchcliffe tilts, runs up there at Snowden. And again, the last tackle with Canberra, and they will look to Campese to provide them with a big play in the last, and it's a big bomb that Carney is getting back for. He's underneath it, Brett Carney. A very, very good number 1 country fullback from this year.
I know they're kicking the ball on 5th tackle, but both Cronulla wingers are dropping back expecting it. I'm just thinking maybe the Raiders may be setting them up to run it on last play here.
And this is Cavell headed centre field. A reminder that after this one tonight, straight off to Brookvale for Manly against the St George Illawarra Dragons. It is 2nd against 7th. And the Dragons beating Manly in their last meeting at Brookie. If they lose tonight too, the last match for Mark Gasnier, he would be flying out tomorrow morning if they lose, off to France. Kick downfield with angle on it, and then it bounces awkwardly. Milne comes up with the ball inside his own 20. He has been a revelation of fullback David Milne, and then he's copped a headlock, bear hug style tackle from Snowden. That was ruthless.
Well, that was a 40-20 attempt too, and it was very, very close to coming off for Brett Seymour. And then Milne took the ball infield, and you can't grab blokes up around the neck and wrestle them down. Dane Tilse also comes off. He's been strong as well.
He actually won the Coaches Award during the week at the Raiders presentation night. And he's played every game the last 2 years, Dane Tilse, which is a good effort for a front rower. Now Nigel Plum with the ball. 43 metres out from the Cronulla line. At 10 points to nil, they get another penalty. Well, this turns the match when you get 2 in a row like this. Kamali unhappy with that. But this is going to put the Raiders on the attack deep inside Sharks territory.
Well, a quarter of the game is gone, and they are still far from settled, the Raiders. Their timing is out, but they're getting some field position. They need to make it count in these next couple of minutes. That's Monahan attracting 4 defenders.
25 metres out from the line. He got up wrestling, pushing Brett Kamali there. Tongue inside they come with Thurling. Thurling flicks it back. Then that looked a forward pass from Hinchcliffe, and it's called forward to Buttress. And, well, now I will say it, Rebel. They're trying their hearts out. There's no question about that. But it's just not clicking for Canberra tonight.
Well, Laurie mentioned it earlier. You've got to settle down in these circumstances by taking the ball forward.
I think that's been the difference in their start to previous starts, Pete. They just haven't looked settled. They did it a bit last week where they didn't know whether to go forward or use the football wide. And I think they're just caught in 2 minds here. They just need a simple game plan to get themselves back into the contest.
Pomeroy's got the ball from their scrum, and straight away they swarm in on him, and a little bit of a push there from Campese and Seymour. Don't know what it was about. Seymour put his hands up. Carney will play it 23 metres away from their own line. Not the best play the ball. DeGoyce inside. Snowden. And wrapped up nicely on the 30-metre line. Huntington low down there was Josh Miller. Now Gallen with the ball. And Gallen's lost it again. His 2nd drop of the night. Campese there to make the tackle. They're running at him. Campese's tackle count now 13. It is top of the night. But he did the job there, didn't he?
Well, it was an awkward-looking tackle, attempted tackle there by Terry Campese. He dropped to the ground. Ricky Stewart's unhappy in the coach's box. But Canberra, in this set of 6, they need to simplify things, go forward, work off some quick play the balls. If they can attack with the Sharks' defence going back, they're a real chance of scoring points.
Little short side play from that scrum, finding Colin Best. They have Campese feeding the scrums. Now Picker. He is 21 metres out from the line. All of Crookwell watching tonight, watching Joe Picker in action. Now Hinchcliffe. Inside ball for Josh Miller. All of Forbes watching Josh Miller play tonight. And now Tongue goes out for Campese. Inside they work with Thurling. Thurling is wrapped up 5 metres from the line. The Raiders with a big chance here. Trailing 10 points to 0. Then Buttress, and Milner's tripped over his own feet. Pomeroy's come up with a ball. He could have passed to Cavell there. Cavell was away. And again, Canberra make an error on the attack. Anderson with the ball, 28 metres out from the Sharks line. Field position going Canberra's way lately, but still no points. Now Peake will play it. Having been tackled low down by Josh Miller. This time Douglas gets outside the 40.
Well, the concern for Canberra is what happens when it gets down the other end of the field after the good field position and possession they've enjoyed. So often you see points conceded. And the Sharks, desperate to get down there, they'll do so off the boot of Brett Kamali, who's happy to put it down into the corner. Milner's there. Chase is good.
Chase is outstanding, and 3 there in the tackle. Denny Nutley now on at 34 years of age. A real veteran. On the run home here. Adam Peake, the player he replaced. Goes Plum. He's had one offload so far tonight, which was a good one. Tackled short of the 40 there. And now they're going to roll on with Josh Miller. He is a goer, short of halfway. Here's Tongue. No support close to him. And Alan Tongue makes some hard metres. Carries it up inside the Sharks 40, held there by Douglas. He's hurt again, Alan Tongue.
On 5.
And it is the last tackle for Canberra, but he's got a fair bit of pain there. Alan Tongue. Dally M Captain of the Year, Dally M Lock of the Year. And he cops it over the top, in fact, from Luke Douglas. And now that Stephen Clark's had a look at that, he may get a little word down to Jared Maxwell. No question about the point of contact there.
Ooh, yes.
I'm not even looking at it, mate.
Well, that'll be a penalty because the initial contact is with the head. Intended or not. The rule is that you cannot do that. It'll be called out.
Number 11.
I don't think it's a place on report.
Calling out.
I think it's just a penalty, but it looks like it might go a little bit more serious than just the penalty.
If the player's hurt, he probably is obliged to...
Okay, penalty against Luke Douglas, contact with the bicep shoulder on his head.
So Alan Tongue is up. And here's where you get the home ground crowd effect here. Chorus of boos here at Toyota. There are some Canberra fans, as you can see, out and about, but they probably total about 1% of the attendance here.
Well, this is such an important set of 6 for Canberra. They've got to get to the end of it and maintain the pressure.
Picker took the first one, and he is 15 metres out. He's attracted 3 defenders in there. Simmons, Anderson, Kamali got interested as well. Hinchcliffe for Tongue. Tongue offloads for Miller. Miller is 10 metres out. A little bit more direct, those first 2 plays from Canberra. Tackler there was Snowden. Now Hinchcliffe for Tongue. Tongue on to Campese. Pushes it wide for Monahan. Cavell, good read. He's trying to get him to ground. The troops come in to help. But that was a tough one for Luke Cavell. It was 2-on-1. He made a good choice. Still the Raiders on the attack. Plum is ironed out. Great defence, Cronulla coming off their line. Danny Nutley. Nutley on Plum, like it. Campese across to Tongue. Campese, short pass for Picker. Picker back to Campese. Now out to Chalk. He angles back infield. The Sharks goal line defence again is equal to the challenge. Last tackle, Hinchcliffe. Campese, 11 out now, will kick, gets it across field, Monahan's out there, Monahan bats it down, it's bounced forward there to Plum, still on the deck, knocked on by Cronulla, tackle Canberra, he starts. I agree with the referee, 2 metres out from the line. It was knocked back and bounced forward, that's play on, over the top they come. Purtell comes back infield. Carney is there with Pomeroy and DeGoyce. Cronulla's goal line defence outstanding so far. Now Campese steadies it up for Thurling. Thurling got a hat-trick recently against the Panthers. 7 tries for the year coming off the bench. Now straight out of dummy half. They'll get to the end goal. I think it's Hinchcliffe.
Up. On 3.
And they will play it 10 metres out. You can hear Jared Maxwell saying tackle number 3.
Don't they guard their goal line better than most teams in the competition? They are ruthless in this position, the Sharks.
So played 10 metres out, and now Thurling. They didn't really set for anything adventurous there when they had the 10-metre restart. Sharks defence just lapped that up. Hinchcliffe out in front of Campese. Fires the ball over the top for Chalk, and Chalk has gone over. They called it forward.
On 4.
They've called it forward to Marshall Chalk, and Campese cannot believe it. The Raiders, they don't know what has gone on there. Campese thought the ball was perfect. Chalk thought the ball was perfect. What about you, Peter Sterling?
I thought the ball was perfect. The amount of forward passes that we've seen pulled up that have left the hands going backward in the last month have been very, very ordinary.
Out the back, Isaac.
If the ball leaves the hands going backwards, it is not a
Get
forward
someone else
pass.
in here, Brett, will you? No, Isaac DeGoyce.
Well, the
Okay,
blood
let's go.
works continue from last night. Oh, boy, didn't we have a dozen players tended for cuts, and now the Sharks have got Gallen, they've got DeGoyce in trouble, we've seen
Let's go,
Tongue in trouble.
Let's go. Canberra pack.
Scrum won by the Sharks. Kamali passes there to Gallen. Gallen is held up on the 10-metre line. He'd be dirty with the first half, the captain. Only his 4th finals game, and a couple of errors inside the Cronulla half in these first 28 minutes. Finals football live on Channel 9. Well, Talapapa's walked a long way off the mark there. In another game and another time, it's a penalty in front of the post. But Talapapa, I think he walked off about 3 metres off the mark.
Well, we saw Justin Hodges penalised last night for exactly that as Kamali shakes. The kick was only on the 4th, so I'll go to Brett Seymour on the last now. I do have a concern for Canberra as soon as Cronulla get down in that attacking 20.
David Milne with the ball back from fullback, throws a dummy, glancing shoulder there from Simmons.
The only positive in Canberra's favour at the moment is they've played poorly with the football and they're only 10 points behind. If they get it right, they can score points. But they need to come up with a lot better plays against a Sharks outfit who defensively are structured very well.
A little bit of breeze at their back in the second half too, the Raiders, but they're not any more than 10 down. As Buttress feeds it along, and Purtell at centre that time with Monahan on his outside, but up there was Seymour and Cavell. Isn't in a purple patch of form, Luke Cavell, everything he does. I think he may be the first winger pick for New Zealand come the World Cup. Hinchcliffe, Cavell had an unfortunate debut at the end of last year, injured very early in that test match in Wellington. Now Campese, last tackle, interesting call from Maxwell, told the player to get his foot on the ball. Now Carney with it, he's wrapped up, 15 metres out, Tongue's hurt again.
Pretty clever regather there from Brett Carney, one-handed. Just juggled it out on his own line. Supreme show of confidence there is Alan Tongue. The Warhorse continues. Talapapa, two-try hero, centre field, looking to help out.
Alan Tongue just appears to have lost feeling in his left arm at the moment. There's DeGoyce now, bandage across the forehead. 39 metres out from the Cronulla line. Kamali turns it inside for Snowden. Snowden gets up to halfway. Rough and tumble of finals football you're seeing here tonight, as you saw last night at the SFS. Kamali's kick has got Milne chasing it across field, and again it bounces long, and Kamali off the boot would have been thinking, well, that's exactly where I wanted it, yet it's gone over the dead ball line.
He placed it perfectly, Brett. Kamali. Milne was found out of position. Look, if I'm in the Raiders, if I'm setting up for a long play, two things I've got in mind. I break it down with a quick play the ball and go at a short side defensive rush from the Sharks, or kick him behind. They're coming up quick on the edge of the Sharks.
Falling into the tackle there was Josh Miller. Let's go to the sideline. Andrew Johns.
Yeah, guys, big test for Terry Campuzzi. He's out on his feet. He's doing that much defence. The Sharks know he's the only focal point for the Raiders, so they're sending so much attacking him. He just can't get in position. It's a big test for him, playing under fatigue and pressure.
He's best up the centre, got away from Nutley. And Joey just updating you that tackle count for Campuzzi. It's now 17. And he takes a run there. Last tackle for Canberra. Costigan's out there now for the Raiders. He's replaced Plum. Tongue kicks. It's off the side of the boot. It's out to the side. They've still got some tall timber to catch the ball. It comes back in field and then a kick forward that had just about everyone offside from Purtell.
Well, I think it just showed fatigue playing a part in Terry Campuzzi's game then. We mentioned the fact he's done plenty of defence. And when you have made a lot of tackles, you're fatigued, you don't make the correct decisions. On fifth tackle, Campuzzi was tackled with the football. If he's the only focal point for the Raiders, you don't need him tackle or playing the ball on fifth tackle. You need him receiving the ball on the last tackle and putting a play on or getting to the kick. You just see there, poor option last tackle. There was no Campuzzi being able to touch the football.
Before this year, we're talking about Terry Campuzzi as a real superstar, aren't we? Before this year, only 21 games in first grade. And he's played every game this year and finished fourth in the Dally M count on Tuesday night. And then runner-up in the Raiders, winning the medal on Wednesday. Won a couple of awards down there, though, Clubman of the Year. 28 metres out from the line, De Goyce for Gallen. And Gallen's offloaded, loose on the bounce to De Goyce, then for Nutley. Nutley gets up over the 40 for the Sharks. And he is 5 short of halfway. Kamali with the ball. Out it goes for Seymour. It's been a while since the Sharks have been inside the Canberra 20. They got their tries in the 3rd minute and the 12th, both to Missy Talapapa. Kamali kicks back in field. This could be an awkward one to bounce. Here comes Cavell. Look at Cavell come through. He makes the tackle with Gallen. But the Raiders were tardy in getting to that ball. And it was almost stolen by Cronulla.
They're out on their feet. The Raiders are out on their feet. They need to come up with a special set of 6 here. Otherwise, if they turn it over in good field position, the Sharks are coming to get them.
Oh, and Ross, well, he came to get Buttress there and slammed him into the ground. Now Costigan bumps his way forward off De Goyce, but held there by Anderson. And a terrible play. The ball, he's lost it. Sharks will get a scrum feed. 6.5 minutes out from half-time.
Canberra have had all the football in the last 10 minutes as Costigan just loses control of the football. But having all of that football has taken a lot out of their petrol tank. And when I say I've got concern about when Cronulla get down to this end, I think they're going to be very vulnerable to a Cronulla side now, looking to take advantage of getting out of their own territory.
Just a little stoppage in play. De Goyce being tended to again. Those who are sticklers for the rules, if you go to the rule book, you can actually drop the ball in playing the football. You can drop it and then strike it with your foot. That is still in the rule book from 1908. No one's bothered to change it. You can get to your feet and just drop the ball as long as you heel it back.
You don't think they'd pull it up?
Well, exactly. I've asked Steve Clark about this before, the video referee. You reckon anyone would ever pull that up? Now, Kamali will let it go. Here's Carney. Carney is 5 metres away from the line. But look it up if you want. There can be some homework for you overnight. And now Simmons heads infield for Kamali. Gallen. This would be incredible. If Talapapa gets a third, he has! Missy Talapapa has now got 3 for the night. He's only got 2 for the season. He's been waiting for finals football. And on debut, he's got a hat-trick.
Well, he's got a hat-trick through the wizardry here of Paul Gallen. There wasn't a whole lot on. They come back the short side. Brett Kamali finds Gallen, confronted by 3 defenders. They forget about the football. And Talapapa, no problems up with that one. No video ref required.
Missy Talapapa has got 3 tries here. Sharks have formed a huddle. Well, I want to move back because they're almost in the line of sight of the goal kicker, Luke Cavell, where they're standing. Kamali sends them upfield. Three tries in the first half to Cronulla. And really, they've had little more than 3 visits to the Canberra 20. And Missy Talapapa has got a hat-trick. And he would be the least likely player to snatch a headline out of all this Cronulla team. Missy Talapapa made his debut for the Sharks round 8 last year. Former Warrior. 18th game this season as Cavell has drifted across and hit the upright. So 1 from 3 with 3 to go in this first half. 14-0 Andrew Johns.
The Sharks sticking to the game plan beautifully there. He'd be happy Ricky Stewart up there in the box and just keep attacking the Raiders' left-hand side of the ruck. They're just relentless. I think that try could have broke the spirit of the Raiders.
They've had some comeback wins this year, Canberra. One I remember down in Canberra against the Tigers earlier this year. And stormed home to win that game. So they kept the Tigers scoreless in the second half.
It's all off the back of good aggressive running, Bossy. They haven't done that in the first half.
Nutley back to the 10, and they've used their bench forwards. Miller, Costigan, Thurley all had a go out there, and they're a little hamstrung by the fact they've got Brett Kelly, a winger, as their 4th interchange player. They've got no more fit troops. They were down to 17. Here's De Gois. All got a chance too. Congratulations to their feeder team, South Logan. The Magpies winning the Queensland Cup final today, beating Ipswich 24-18. There's the bench for the Raiders. There's still the robe around Kelly as Kamali kicks downfield. And across forward and then over the sideline. Milne has made a huge error with 2 minutes to go before half-time. And the Sharks have rushed in to form a scrum. You know what I think about that rule? I think it's a bit of a farce that you're able to stop the clock that quick. But David Milne, he will not want to watch that on replay.
Well, he took his time getting over there and then rushed it at the end. It should have been the other way around for young Milne. Attack the football and then steady near the sideline. You could see Neil Henry, the head going into the hands, disappointed, and a big play coming up now. 14-0, the Raiders are still a chance.
10-0 was fine. 14-0's just okay. Any more than that, real troubles. Carney's wrapped up by Buttress on number 1. Isaac De Gois, dummy half. Here is Douglas with the ball. Douglas is wrapped up that time. In the tackle was Miller. They're only 5 away. They set to the right-hand side. They're coming out Talapapa's way. Carney's got the ball. And Carney is wrapped up. We'll name that corner. The southwestern corner after Missy Talapapa. Seymour. He looks up there with Ross. Tackled 15 metres away from the line. Remember Francis Melly scoring, what was it, 5 tries first week of the finals a few years back. Here's Kamali. Out it goes for Gallen. Gallen with the ball. Gallen tried to squeeze a pass. Cavell took it on the toe and has forced it, but Maxwell said it went forward.
Well, he's playing either side of the ruck tonight, Paul Gallen. Predominantly he plays down left edge. We've seen him over the right side tonight, trying to flick that one out. It's a let-off for the Raiders. They haven't looked comfortable defending their own line all night. The Sharks haven't been down here a great deal, but every time they do come down inside the 20, the Raiders look vulnerable.
Set at the top of the coverage. The last win the Raiders had in a final series was 2000. The man sitting beside me, Laurie Daly, is captain. They've lost their last 6 finals games. They've done well to get there, but when they get there, they just can't convert. Played by Thurley. Now, Hinchcliffe away with Tongue and working around the centre of the ruck with David Milne. 15 metres inside their own half. I even see a little chip over the top, short of half-time. And there is Campese, placing it just a bit too deep. Easy one for Talapapa. And Missy will take a run at them. Now he's going backwards. He's happy with his half. His half's work. 3 tries to Messi Talapapa. 1 goal to Luke Cavell. Half-time here at Toyota Stadium. Finals football live on Channel 9. 14-0 to the Sharks over the Raiders. Some breeze and assistance for Canberra in their second half.
Laurie did just sneak into the shed and just give the boys a little bit of a nudge, the right direction.
Felt like it, Pete.
Well, we'll say that Terry Campese paid tribute to you during the week, Laurie, for the work that you've done with him. However, he said the turning point of his year was when he got engaged to his girlfriend Sarah, rather than what you did with him. So there you go. So the kick downfield, he signed a contract that same week as he got engaged. It was a big time for him, Terry Campese. At one point this year, he was gone. The Raiders were chasing Trent Barrett. There was no contract on the table. Costigan with the ball. And back to the 20 and hit low down there by Nutley. And we'll play it to Hinchcliffe. And they work out the buttress inside. Furling's got a lot of determination on that run, but he went straight back at the Goyce, who's made 24 tackles for the night. Here's Hinchcliffe unloading there to Miller. Kamali there in defence. Kamali with 13 tackles as well. He's had to do his share. Campese top of the count for Canberra. 21. Tongue through the centre. Here goes Tongue. Supporters there. It's Milne. 20 metres out from the line. Canberra, great chance. Costigan, great ball. Chalk unloads to Best. Best for the corner. Back inside for Chalk. And here they are for Canberra Raiders. Flick a switch.
We're on 5, mate.
And just like that.
Bar the grounding and touchline down here.
They're checking grounding and touchline. They can't check if the last pass was forward. I reckon Chalk's got one.
Well, that is exactly what the Canberra Raiders needed to start this second half. A springboard. And it started with an Alan Tongue break. A little step. There was a fling out the back from Neville Costigan at one stage. Colin Best getting very close to the sideline, but he releases the football before he touches the white line. And Chalk grounds the football. That is a try. And the Raiders will... That's them at their best.
Clock stopped 1:04 into the second half. 64 seconds into the second half. And we believe the Raiders have got their first try of the night. And they've covered 60 metres to get it.
Don't know about safety first. What about Neville Costigan's
Oh,
pass? Well, he knew that there were people there, and he knew that's where the ball needed to go. So they play.
Here we go, finals football on Channel 9. It's a try to the Raiders, 14-4. Raiders, the biggest group of fans. There's about 3 patches of them around Toyota Stadium. Marshall Chalk scores the try. As I mentioned earlier, one of the players off to link up with the Crusaders in the Super League next year, playing out of Wales. Lincoln Withers on his way as well. They've waited just over 41 minutes, but the Raiders have their first finals try for the year. It is 14 points to 4. And now it's over to Terry Campese.
That's an exciting try, isn't it? You put that alongside Denon Kemp last night for the Broncos, and that's a great way to kick off our final series. Campese has been a point-scoring machine over the last month. Would love to slot this.
There it is from Campese, not going to swing back. It's 14-4, Andrew Johns.
I just can't believe what I see in that first set. I'm sure Ricky Stewart would have been screaming at his players at half-time to lock the game out, but Neil Henry would have demanded off his team. He would have wanted them to score first points. I think we've got a game in our hand, boys.
Kamali was unlucky with that tackle on Best because he actually had him over the sideline, but the leg was above the touchline. And then lost there. Lost by Miller. De Goyce has come up with it. And Cronulla have the ball 15 metres out from the line. At 14-4. What a start to the second half. Here's Douglas. Wrapped up low down by Costigan. De Goyce. Crossfield with Kamali and Ross. Fans in that far corner hoping that Messi Talapapa can get to 4. And Francis Melly did score 5 tries for the Warriors, but it's 5 years ago now. Here's Douglas. That was against the Bulldogs at the Showground. It's another Kiwi here tonight with 3 tries. De Gois, Kamali, out it comes. Seymour looked inside. Seymour gets over himself. Seymour scores for Cronulla. What a dogged customer this bloke is. Brett Seymour scores for Cronulla. They go tit for tat after half-time.
Well, it was an error off the kick-off by Josh Miller, turning the ball straight over, and the Sharks just working a simple second-man play. He looks inside Brett Seymour, and the Raiders are sliding on their line. They're not pushing up square, and he scores and responds.
He's become a real favourite here, Brett Seymour, scoring that try for Cronulla, their 4th of the night, following on from the Talapapa hat-trick in the first 40 minutes. And the former Bronco scores it here for Cronulla. Finals football on Channel 9 from Toyota Stadium. We're off to Brookvale after this for the Dragons and the Seagulls. But the Sharks are back to that 14-point lead again, and Cavell to try and make it 16.
And that was all too easy for Brett Seymour as Luke Cavell strikes this one. He's just going to push it wide of the right hand upright. Brett Seymour, he could have found Luke Cavell quite easily, and Cavell would have scored untouched. That was De Gois getting first contact on Josh Miller, the ball coming loose. And Luke Cavell, if he received the football to the left-hand side of that, was unmarked in a lot of space.
He's got the nervous 190s. Luke Cavell, he's stuck on 198 points at the moment. As Carney fields the kick-off, and the Sharks are ready to go again with Nutley. Tackled there by Tongue. So back to that 14-point margin. 5.5 into the second half. Here's Talapapa. Left up low down by Costigan. Also on the tackle was Thurling. Now Ben Ross, I thought his start to the game tonight was excellent. Makes it outside the 30 for Cronulla. Really laid the platform. Now Douglas, young forward in finals footy tonight. De Gois, look at the direct nature of the Cronulla play here. De Gois is wrapped up 5 metres inside the Raiders half. Carney Kamali kicks for the corner, wants it to pull up. Milne's across there. It's perfect from Kamali. The skates are on Milne, but Puppy gets out of the line, O'Kitchen. He runs up over the 10-metre line. Now he's back up to the 20.
Now that's impressive.
I don't know how he did it, David Milne. Now Tongue goes out wide. Buttress feeds it along. They probably needed another ball to find Monahan there. Cavell again was confronted with a 2-on-1. Gets it one tackle too late. Monahan and tackled by Pomeroy. 35 metres out from their own line. And with it was Miller, and he's shortened up there by Ben Ross.
Does he remind you of Martin Lang at all, Josh Miller?
Well, he's such a goer. Scored a try on debut. That was 66 games ago and hasn't scored again. Be a nice night to get a second.
There's no fear. Just give me the ball, I'll carry it forward.
And now no dummy half there. May have even been a Sharks hand in it, but it ends up a last tackle changeover.
Well, that's unforgivable from the Raiders. What about this effort from Milne? Swerving run, beats 5, and it looked almost certain that he'd be tackled in goal and it would have been a line dropout. No dummy half there on the last.
Well, appeals to me that Anderson definitely touched the ball. Anyway, Ross has got it. De Gois. Mind you, when you make an error like that, you probably don't deserve another set of 6. Last tackle play on halfway. De Gois to Kamali. Out it comes for Seymour. Seymour inside for Gallen. Gallen tackled 33 metres out from the Canberra line. Carney gets them going left side. Kamali passes to himself. Spun up out of his hands. 18 metres away from the line. He was tackled by Monahan. Now Pomeroy, Seymour, kicks over the top. They've got this covered. Canberra out on the fingertips of Campese. He's going a long way back, though, isn't he, to get back to the field of play. Milne's now got the ball.
One there.
And Milne is just over the goal line. At best, Canberra under assault here and trying to hang on. Their fate is unknown. If they lose here, they will have to hope that Manly beat the Dragons and that Melbourne beat the Warriors tomorrow. So you'd much rather win and sit back and smoke your pipe, so to speak. Raiders with the ball. Legally, well, there's no carpets. I'm not saying they're growing something in the backyard or the hydroponics or anything like that. Let's clear that up. Patel goes back to Campese. Last tackle play. Carney's underneath it. Carney's got it. He's dead fast at the back. And over the 30 he goes for Cronulla.
That really was a killer blow, that Brett Seymour try. They'd waited so long, Canberra. Mentally, they'd have been uplifted by it. And then to concede almost immediately, all of a sudden the big high becomes a big low and tough to recover from. But they've settled a bit now. Nutley well handled on halfway.
By Miller. There in defence, he's made 13 tackles since coming off the bench. Now Gallen inside the Raiders 40, quick scoop up by De Gois, looking to catch the markers offside again there. Seymour out to Kamali. Kamali with support outside. Pomeroy comes back infield. Pomeroy looked hurt when he was tackled there. Suddenly started to limp Ben Pomeroy the moment he was struck, maybe a bit of a cork. Now Kamali with the ball, kicks from 21 metres out. They've got it covered at the back, and then no one's got it for Canberra. They're all there, and Cronulla have the ball.
First
Now
off
they've
Canberra,
lost it.
second off Cronulla.
But the Canberra double knock on.
Yeah, that was a clean miss by the Canberra side there. I think it was Colin Best. Just straight through. No advantage for the Cronulla Sharks, who infringe as well.
He's had an unhappy night with the ball in the air, Colin Best. Usually pretty safe, very good. But tonight, couple put down. One, he's conceded a try, and two, his team's under enormous pressure 10 metres out.
30 minutes remaining and 18 points to 4. This is a big set of 6 here. Simmons has got the first one. And is tackled by Campese and Chalk, and also Picker. 9 metres out from the line. Kamali with it, back inside for Ross. Ross doesn't offload as he reversed his way into the defence. 3 in the tackle again, but they're setting up for a big play to the left that'll bring Carney into the action from fullback. Here's Kamali, out for Seymour. They skip out Carney on the bounce to Cavell. Cavell will take them on, got away from Purtell, flicks it back. Now with the ball is Pomeroy, close to the sideline. Tongue makes the tackle. 7 away. Still the Sharks pepper the Canberra line. Gallen, little juggle, run around with Kamali, now slows it up, he's headed backwards, and I don't think that's how it was meant to work. Tackled by Costigan, De Gois, Kamali, 15 out, forward ball, there to Ross, 11 metres away now, last tackle. Not Cronulla's best set, or at least the last 2 tackles haven't been flashed. Now Seymour kicks it out, here comes Luke Cavell with his cape on, it's put down by Monahan, he scored Luke Cavell!
On tackle 6.
Cavell's got the ball. I don't think he touched it at first attempt, Sterlo. I think it was all Monahan. I think Cavell has scored.
Well, that would be the only concern going upstairs. What a confrontation here. 2 of the best in the air in the competition. The chasers are onside. Joel Monahan's got a good play at this, but he gets in a bad position actually behind. Look, I tend to think that Luke Cavell might have got a touch with the fingers there. Ball bounces back straight into his arms. But I'm not sure if it was all Joel Monahan. As we get a look at another angle.
Well, you'd say he's touched the football, wouldn't you, Luke Cavell? I'm happy if they give the try, but I can't be sure, but you would say at somewhere, I think he's touched it.
I think he's touched the football, and you look at those things and you think, well, is it benefit of the doubt? I don't think there's enough benefit of the doubt to favour the attacking team in that situation. But our opinion doesn't count in this. We'll get a decision very shortly from the man that does count.
I don't think he did touch it. I'll just throw my 10 cents worth in. I'm very happy if they say try here.
Oh, I can understand completely if they do give the try. But
it's a great leap, isn't it? From both players, hands way above their head and jumping. We are talking well over 2 metres in the air. We're talking probably 3 metres and above at full extension and jumping. I think they have to say try here for Cavell. Dual effort in the box. Steve Clark and Russell Smith. Here we go. It's a big call. It's a big call. It is try, and no benefit of the doubt. 22-4. Yet Ricky Stewart looks like he's down to his last 10. But I'm sure the heart is beating a little faster now.
Well, he just places it perfectly, Seymour, and then it's just left up to Cavell. Monaghan, unfortunately, coming down with the football. The Raiders' edges are very good with the ball in the air, but tonight they've had some terrible moments, and Ricky in the box, he goes up, he's happy.
The problem for Joel Monaghan there was he allowed Luke Cavell to get the better position. As he was coming in and Cavell's coming from a distance, he actually allowed Luke Cavell to get between him and the football. And as it turned out, he paid the ultimate penalty.
So Cavell has passed the 200-point mark now, only the 4th player in history at this club to do so. And now has got his 2nd goal of the night as well. Andrew John's sideline.
He's in fine form, isn't he, Cavell? Aren't they pushing the limits these days, the outside back? Just like AFL. Arms up, full stretch, just put so much pressure on the defensive winger to catch them bombs. Luke Cavell outstanding. Just on Ben Pomeroy, guys. He's been awful down here, just hobbling around. He's got a cork thigh, but he's going to continue.
It's a Canberra restart with Monaghan. And the Sharks take charge, leading by 20, 24-4. And up comes Brian Norrie. There is Ben Pomeroy still nursing that cork. And the Sharks now with Talapapa. First half hat-trick hero. Those other players to score 200 points, or more than 200 points in a season at Cronulla. George Tail, 4th back in 1970. Matt Rogers, 2000. Brett Kamali, 2002. And now Cavell is added to that list. And Seymour's got it away, and now Pomeroy. Don't worry about the cork. Pomeroy gets it to Cavell, who puts it down. Oh, what about that? Ben Pomeroy. That's a fitness test. And now he's limping again.
Well, he didn't worry about the cork, but the Raiders, they're just sliding instead of going forward. They're not going square enough when they're defending. It's just allowing the Sharks to slice through the defence. The support play is there, and Pomeroy, the pass to Cavell, unfortunately he didn't take it. It was another 4-pointer in the offering there for the Sharks. They're teasing them now.
Oh, Luke and Pomeroy not talking to Luke Cavell now. That was a presentation.
Hang on, mate, hang on.
Ricky Stewart still has a play to call and that he hasn't used. Blake Green yet to come into this game. He wouldn't play in the centres, but Pomeroy gets around through a good ball.
No twist.
It's one that Luke Cavell should have taken and would be expected to take. And he would know that he should have got it.
Well, big push from the scrum now. They've knocked it on at the base. Knocking the ball on at the base of the scrum. Glenn Buttress, as the Sharks went for a push in a scrum that totally threw the Raiders out of sync. And this young bloke, Glenn Buttress, only his 15th game in first grade, rookie halfback. Well, he's not a halfback, but he's playing half.
Well, it's welcome to semi-final football. You can talk about semi-final football. Ricky clapping, giving the offsider a bit of a check in the ribs. But it's been a good lesson for the Raiders tonight. Faced adversity all season. And they come up against a pretty determined Sharks out. And once again, they're pushing in the scrum.
Well, it's got to be game on for the scrum now. If you allow the previous one, now we're going to see a mess for the rest of the game, I think. The Raiders will try and whack this one off the mark. This is a chance for Cronulla to go out to the open side with his big man, Anderson. 8 metres away from the line. De Goyce with it, with Norrie. Norrie has not scored a try in his first grade career. He's only 2 metres away from the line. De Goyce dummy half. Kamali inside here with Ben Ross, and again he backs into the defence. 5 metres from the line, tackled by Costigan. They look short, but they go straight here, Gallen. Raiders look short out to their right, the Sharks left. De Gois is now looking left. That's the side of the ruck Kamali's on. Here he goes. Kamali holds it up. Out it comes. Kamali catches that one. Now Pomeroy's got the ball and now knocked on by Carney. We'll take a break. Finals football on 9. Scrum to pack down, 10 metres out. See if they do the push on this scrum. Surely not. Tongue up with it for Canberra. On for Chalk. Tackle number 1. Live on Channel 9, tackle number 2 for the Canberra Raiders after that scrum win close to their line. Picker plays it. Let off with Carney dropping the ball. Now Campese holds it up and then Furling collected ball and all by Kamali. They're going to say hi. Kamali's not happy. It just looked to be a wrap-around tackle.
There we are.
Furling not blowing up about it. There was no drama whatsoever, really.
No, ordinary penalty. I think he was going to let it go, Jared Maxwell. I think he got a call from the touchy. The Raiders certainly needed that. Let's see what they can come up with here in this set of 6.
Logan, he's inside the 30. There is still time for them. A 20-point margin, but there are still 22 and a half minutes remaining. But they would want to score back-to-back tries, Canberra. But Kelly is now out there for the Raiders. Costigan with the ball. 5 metres away from the line, and there's a good tackle. Cutting him in half. Costigan will play it. It was Gallen there for the Sharks. His tongue looked outside and then in, and then has to accept the tackle. A little bit of goal line stuff now for the Sharks. As Hinchcliffe passes it on for Furling. Furling held up by Kamali and also Norrie and also Gallen, and he's been crunched in the tackle. He winces in pain, Trevor Furling, yet still he plays the ball. Hinchcliffe, last play. Campese kicks it out wide. They're there, the Raiders, in numbers. They've got the ball back for Best. Best is headed for the sideline. Kept it alive. Kelly got the ball away. Now the second kick. Across field, Purtell's there. He's lost the ball forward to a man offside. In Costigan. And a changeover. Cronulla end up with the ball. Exciting passage, but no result for Canberra. Now, Kamali said something to the referee, Jared Maxwell. I don't know whether he was saying that the Raiders aren't square or they're not back 10, and he's holding up play.
Well, Ricky Stewart will want his team to finish this off in final style. Into the last quarter of the game, they have a match-winning lead. They need to be thinking about what type of football they'll need to play if they do win this one and continue on. As Gallen gets a good ball away to De Gois.
And just so you know, the McIntyre system, if the Sharks win here, and Manly were to lose against the Dragons tonight, the Sharks would be only 1 match away from the grand final. They would get next weekend off. Likewise, if Manly were to win tonight and Melbourne lose tomorrow and Sharks win here, they would get next week off. So there's a few options there, very positive ones at that, as Kamali has found the line from halfway to get it down to the 10-metre line.
He likes his style of footy, Brett Kamali. When they're in front, the Sharks, he can control the pace of the game. Now they're just looking for the sideline. The players can walk to the scrum. They know they've got the Raiders' measure. And I think you're right, Sterlo. Knowing Ricky and knowing how he thinks, he'll be wanting his side to be ruthless in this next 20-minute period.
I mentioned earlier in the year, Laurie, that it seems to me Brett Kamali has played a different game under Ricky Stewart. Everything's not loaded onto his shoulders. I think he gets much more support from Seymour, from Carney, and of course from Paul Gallen out there, and earlier in the season, Greg Bird. You know, all of a sudden it's not Brett Kamali having to be the difference in getting them home. And I think he's revelled in that lack of pressure.
I think he's also getting used to playing with a bit more depth and a bit more width in his play. When Brett Kamali first came to the Sharks, everything was just flat and fast at the line.
Furling centre field, and will play it 25 metres out from the Raiders line. Now Hinchcliffe, Campese, here as Buttress can't get as far as the 40. Wrapped up there by Pomeroy and Seymour. Still, the Sharks have conceded just one try. That was straight after half-time. It was a beauty from the Raiders, but it's the only try of the night for the Green Machine. Last tackle now for Canberra. They've sent Tills back out there, Thurling off the field. And there's 6 interchanges for the night for Canberra. Campese kicked and then copped a challenge from Douglas. He played for a penalty. He won't get it. Talapapa's got the ball for the Sharks, and Talapapa, he was looking to pass even then, 8 metres away from the Sharks line.
We're getting to the stage where we'll see a short kick over the top from Terry Campese getting towards the end of the tackle count. They've had success with the chip. They need points.
And Sterlo just bringing you in on it. Former great halfback. I mean, Kamali's maybe not the best player on the ground, but if you were to put him in the Canberra side tonight, what a different performance, what a different match we may have.
Well, he's the most influential player. He'll handle the football more than anyone else except the dummy halves, and you've got to know what to do with that. And he's composed. Now, he hasn't missed a minute of football this season. Along with David Simmons, they've played every minute of every game. So they know their role.
And importantly, Pete, I think he's getting better with every game.
The Bulldogs will be happy to hear that as Kamali kicks downfield. The Bulldogs have got Brett Kamali for the next 2 seasons. Trent Barrett will be at halfback next year for Cronulla, and we're excited about that. They have Trent coming back from England. Milne is upended there by Seymour. Here's Brett Kamali on screen. His 14th finals game, and he'll turn 32 on Monday as well. Brett Kamali, his best. Tackled 29 metres out from the Canberra line. 17.5 minutes remaining, and 24-4. The Raiders need a bit of magic right now. And they will look to the number 6 Campese to provide it. Milne's been hurt in that tackle. Slow play the ball. Hinchcliffe for Tongue. Tongue for Campese. Floats it over the top. Purtell's got the ball. Tries a little Alfie Legger style grubber. Cavell's got it covered. Hasn't been all perfect from Luke Cavell tonight, but he has still come up with some very big plays.
And the Raiders have looked to shift the ball. The Sharks have either been there to meet them, or they've had to throw Harbour Bridge type passes. And it's just too slow. It just allows the Sharks defenders to take aim. They've moved forward and then they go, oh, well, we need to move sideways. They go sideways. There's just no pressure. There's just no pressure from the ball player playing square enough.
To Douglas there to play it 39 metres out from the line. Blake Green's now out there for Isaac de Goyce. Anderson held up now inside the 30. And last tackle for the Sharks. Kamali with the ball. They're going to spread it across to Seymour. Now he'll kick over the top. Monahan's getting back to provide protection for Purtell, but Cavell ends up with the ball. And then somehow the ball just fires out of his hands into the clutches of Milne.
Did he kick that?
Well, I don't know. It certainly came out quickly. Monahan goes for some good metres.
I think it was a smart play. He realised that they had him. He just dropped it onto the boot.
Now Kelly with the ball. 24-4. Let's just check it with Cavell. Here he is. Yeah, he got a kick in, Laurie. Good stuff. He's got some skills. There's now a ball and all tackle. Green got there on David Milne. Hinchcliffe, Dane Tills taken down by Kamali. And they're 28 metres away from the line. Across there for Tongue. And they're going to call that forward. Isaac de Goyce on the bench. His stats tonight, very impressive. 30 tackles, that's top of the count. 8 runs out of dummy half, and you're talking about a very, very improved player in this competition and a great signing for Newcastle. And Paul Gallen, his stats tonight. 20 tackles, 16 hit-ups. Ben Ross has made 21 hit-ups. He's in calculations for man of the match tonight. Talk about that old adage of front rowers in big games. Well, Ben Ross has delivered tonight. Now Talapapa back to the 30. And Ross may get one more stint in the game. Talapapa's been hurt in that tackle. I don't know whether there was a swinging arm over the top, but he stayed down, and we'll take a look at the replay, and there it was, a little short arm from Colin Best.
Well, there was one given in the first half. I'm sure this will be a penalty to the Sharks. I think he was falling. Colin Best made contact.
Yeah, Colin Best wasn't looking at the player at his tackle. He did fall into it, but it will be a penalty. And that should again be sufficient. The referee's called him out now. Alan Tongue also being summoned.
It's exactly the same as the one in the first half. Contact that, keep him down. And report.
Oh, well, that's gone on report. I don't think the other one did.
No, it didn't. Definitely did not go on report, the other one.
Well, that's not a reportable. Well, I don't think it's a reportable offence. I think he was dropping.
Not even looking at the man that he's made contact with. Telapapa back to his feet. That's good news. There's still a chance to get number 4 for the evening.
Well, the one in the first half was Luke Douglas on Alan Tongue in the 25th minute of play, and it wasn't put on report despite the fact Alan Tongue stayed down. And that one is, I suppose, in the scheme of things, it hasn't mattered because neither player was replaced, so there's no free interchange there. Here's Douglas with the ball, 39 metres out from the Canberra line. And Blake Green, the former Eel, getting I would think, an unexpected run in the finals. Blake Green, Terence CU's played more football coming off the bench as the alternate dummy half. Here's Green for Kamali, then goes out to Seymour. Another strong game tonight from the number 6 for Cronulla. 20 metres away from the Canberra line. Tongue made yet another tackle for the Raiders. He's made 28 tonight. Cronulla are 15 metres from the line with Brian Norrie. They lead by 24 points to 4. They've scored 5 tries to 1. It's pretty impressive, pretty convincing. Not so the pass from Peake there to Costigan. Well, the pass was perfect, but it was to the wrong man. Now Milne takes off from dummy half. Back for Costigan. Costigan, they've caught them offside.
Seymour.
Raiders needed that. Here's Adam Peake. Thought he had a try assist there. Was going to set it up. Still, Ricky Stewart lives every moment as now the Raiders get another penalty.
We're not getting 3 of them.
Penalty count 6-2 tonight to Canberra. And now they're back inside the Cronulla half, but only 13.5 remaining. I'm prepared to say they probably need to score in this set, the Canberra Raiders, to get the miracle rolling. Hinchcliffe across to Campese. Inside with Costigan. Tackled there and shut down by Douglas. 25 metres away from the line. Hinchcliffe with it as Buttress. On they come with Monahan. Monahan is strong. Got away from Kamali. 3 metres away from the line. Again, Cavell had to come in off his wing. Hinchcliffe. Wide pass for Tongue. Then across with Logan. Run around with a skipper. And it comes. Kept going along for Best. Best is over for the Canberra Raiders. And maybe, just maybe, with 12.5 remaining, it's not quite over.
Well, they need to score points at better than 1 a minute. Nice second man play there, and Colin Best beats a couple to get his side a chance.
(24-8) with 12 minutes remaining. And Colin Best, who dropped the first bomb of the night that led to the Cronulla try, has now got one of his own, and he played a big hand in the first Raiders try as well. Live on Channel 9 from Toyota Stadium, not too far away from heading off to Brookvale. For the Sea Eagles against the Dragons, Campese with this kick at 24-8. Now make that 24-10. 24-10 with 11 minutes remaining. The Sharks junior Colin Best scored the try here for Canberra.
Well, he looks good when he gets into space and gets the ball early, Colin Best. He can cut you up both ways. He can cut you up on the outside shoulder, but he also possesses a nice left foot step, just going in between defenders and getting a try. And the Raiders haven't been at their best tonight. They'd love to go through to round two of the finals. I think they would have taken a lot out of tonight's game, and they're things that they can fix up, the things that have been bad for them tonight.
Well, they tell me that Mark Herbert, even though he's only a rookie, would be back to play halfback next week. But he was pretty impressive when he came into first grade after they dumped Todd Carney. Here's Logan with the ball.
It's always difficult going into a final with a fifth string halfback, and that's to take nothing away from Glenn Buttress. I think he's tried hard, but he's a hooker.
Yeah, look, that triumvirate there, Glenn Buttress, Ryan Hinchcliffe and Alan Tongue, they need a specialist number 7 out there to just help in that area, and they can go back to do what they do best.
Campese, they look to shift it wide for Best. Still on for the Raiders. They will roll the dice. Best Does well to hang on to the ball there. Last tackle. A lot of Sharks in the vicinity there. Campese, last tackle, another big play for them. Goes high, and Cavell's ready to take it for the Sharks. He's lost it. He's lost it. It's offside. Canberra penalty. It is still on for the Green Machine. Have a look at them now, rushing into position. Quick tap, Campese, buttress, and it goes with Monahan. Wrapped up by Cavell. What a mixed night Luke Cavell has had tonight. Bomb tries, drop bombs, scored tries, set up tries, caught bombs. Tilson's tackle, 3 metres away from the line. 24-10, 9.5 remaining. If they score here, then there's plenty of time to win. Campese, oh no! It was on in the corner, and Kelly has not got a mitt to it, nor has Colin Best.
I just thought Colin Best runs into space there and almost scores himself. Well, that must have been a lot further out in front of him than it appeared from a distance, because Best didn't even make a play at the football.
I think he's stunned, Colin Best. I think he knows the opportunity was there for him to play at the football, and it was another 4-pointer. And in last week's game, the Sharks conceded 3 late tries to the Cowboys in 7 minutes.
Sharks have possession. Talapapa goes across field. So he's stuck on 3 tries. The 3rd minute, the 12th minute, got another one 5 before the break. Hasn't added to that tally. Peak was hit, and he'll stay down here. He's copped a forearm over the top here, and I think you'll see it was Tilson Hinchcliffe in the tackle. Tilson Plum, I think it was, in the tackle. But he's not far off the ground, and here it is here. Well, it's just upper arm.
I don't think you do much about that, can you, Vossi?
You braced for the impact. He didn't swing his arm, Dane Tilse. Oh, no.
Oh, no, I know.
Well,
I'll be interested to hear this explanation. The referee, he's saying, I know.
2 times to give him a benefit of the doubt, mate. When you make the tackle, you go second movement straight to the head. All right, cut it out of the game. Dane?
no, I don't get this. So they've just cautioned Hinchcliffe there for a little chop at the end of the tackle. And as for that being a high shot, well, that may be the biggest joke of the year. That's Jerry Lewis stuff.
The rugby league is a physical game, and at times there is some unfortunate contact in part of it. And Adam Peake has been around that long that
we can't go anywhere.
He's got to get up.
He cannot go anywhere, Dane Tilse.
Oh, dear, oh me. So he's got to lift his arms up in the air. That's what the advice is there. Tilse had to lift his arms in the air and let him hit him in the stomach or in the ribs. Work it out, Laurie. Gallen. I had a chat with Steve Clark about that one after the game, because he's one of our most experienced referees.
Look, I'm all for player welfare, but you cannot sanitise the game to a degree that it doesn't look like rugby league anymore.
Now Blake Green on for Gallen. Tackled there by Tongue. That's really taking the sting out of the comeback for the Raiders. That 7.5 minutes remaining, 24-10. What if Colin Best caught that ball, or Kelly? What a finish we could have had. As Peake now with the ball. After this one, straight off to Brookvale. We will replay an interview with the Brood Endurance man of the match later tonight. We'll hold off announcing that as Kamali passes Pomeroy. Pomeroy back inside. He's almost lost his shorts. He doesn't care. He found a crack in the Canberra defence. He's over Ben Pomeroy. He has scored for the Sharks. It's game over. They may get next week off. Whitney Stewart wants to get out of the car park early. He's gone. It's 28-10.
And a beautiful ball to start the movement, an out ball to get the man catching it around his defender. The second man play. This ball here from Kamali is a nice one as well, and Pomeroy steps back off his left foot. Pretty ordinary attempt there from Hinchcliffe. He drags one of the Canberra players along to score the try. He's a strapping centre, this young man.
Vossi's used his words nicely in that play. And Ben Pomeroy, he's a strong runner. He's hard to handle. And he scores the try. And Ricky, he's happy. Tell you what, he'll be sore tomorrow, that bloke, whoever he is. Well, he'll be icing up still in the sheds.
Next game, he'll be standing on the other side to even it up. He's copped it just on the right side.
Can we get his name? I want to find out who that man is.
Well, they've got plenty of height out there in their outside backs, and it is such a blessing in the game today. Pomeroy, Simmons, Cavell, all big men, athletic men. Gets his first of the night. And Luke Cavell, he knows this kick. He's had a couple of these second half.
So he's got it up to 204 points for the year. Throwing away the leading point scorer, and he's got another, so it's 206. And the Sharks have hit 30 for the second time this year against Canberra. Joey Johns.
Yeah, great try there to Ben Pomeroy. He's in all sorts of trouble, this cork fly. He can barely run. But he gets the ball here and goes inside, gets hung up, head-eye tackle. The embarrassment of getting his pants pulled down, and still has the ability to score a try. Impressive sight.
Way. And they will restart play Monaghan. At 30 points to 10, a night that has gone horribly wrong for them. Restarted play. I apologise to some of you if you've had any technical problems picking up our pictures. Sharks have got the ball 20 metres out from their line, and here is Ross. Cavell landed the goal, 30 points to 10 inside the final 5 minutes. Ross has been hurt in that tackle. An anguished look on his face. So a thorough performance from Cronulla tonight. Going into the match, we're told it's going to be the defence of Cronulla against the attacking blitz of the Canberra Raiders, and it's been the Sharks that have come up with 6 tries to 2. And now if they get another one, they'll match their 36 points that they got against Canberra earlier this year.
And I think that will be something that Ricky Stewart will mention post-match. He's almost sort of fortified an us against them mentality. That they don't get the recognition they should get, even awards this week. They didn't feature at all. He's gone that way, Ricky Stewart, that it's us against the world, and it's not a bad way to go into finals football.
Yeah, they got snubbed at the Dally M's, and Ricky certainly let everyone know about that. He's made his way to the sideline, Ricky Stewart. Proud night for him. Sharks have had a poor run in recent seasons. This is only the second time in 6 years they've played finals footy. Their first since 2005, and outside of that, there's been a lot of 11ths and 13ths, the sort of stuff you don't write home about.
Pomeroy has finally left the field with that leg injury as Canberra go wide, and Fraser Anderson is out there making that tackle in the centre position.
Well, Nigel Plum, who's offloaded back to Buttress. Buttress is wrapped up 25 metres from the line. Sharks defence there. Cavell again for Cronulla. Back it comes, last tackle. Campese goes high. That's been his main weapon all second half. Well fielded, Talapapa. And he managed to get his feet in goal for a 20-metre restart. Marshall Chalk reckons he didn't get there, but doesn't matter. That's the way Jared Maxwell saw it. Let's go down to Andrew Johns.
Yeah, I'm here with happy coach Ricky Stewart. Ricky, happy with the performance?
Yeah, Joey, it's good. Mate, we worked very hard on our defence this week because of their attacking ability, and I'm really proud of the diligence of their defence tonight. These guys can score points, and I thought we've been outstanding in that area. And we work on our attitude that if our defence is good, our attack will bounce off that.
Talking about your defence, they scored first set after half time. What were you thinking?
I was filthy, we spoke about that. And we spoke about that they'll, we had to expect the unexpected with them, And, we took
Sorry there, Ricky, and Andrew, as Brett Carney explodes through. Brett Carney scores for Cronulla. Now that is crossing the T's and dotting the I's, icing on the cake, the whole box and dice. Great Cronulla try to finish the night. What about that, Joey?
What a try. And what about next week? Is there a preference for you, Ricky?
Yeah, have a week off. I'd love nothing better for us to get a week off, and it puts us into that opportunity now. But in saying that, we're happy to play too. We're each week over the last, I think, 4 or 5, we've been sort of improving and building momentum. So it'll be a shame to put a stop to it.
Good luck, mate.
Thanks.
All the best.
Yeah, not just the Cronulla coach, the Australian coach, of course, and very happy with the size defence. He'll be chuffed with that effort from Brett Carney as well. Back on the inside, a bit of lazy defence late in the game, and a great step to beat the opposing fullback. Offers so much as the number 1. Again, takes pressure off other players in that attacking area. They missed him when he wasn't there for a couple of matches a few weeks back. He's had an outstanding season. A young man from the Central Coast.
Doing the last kick at Cronulla for Brett Kamali. His last appearance at home. And Kamali successful. Not as if they've handed the kicking duties to a bloke who's a total bunny when it comes to the kicking. He did score 251 points in 2002. But he takes the shot there and successful. Lovely stuff from Brett Kamali. So they do manage to match what they achieved earlier this year against Canberra. Their highest score in a match, and they've done it twice now. 36 points. The Canberra short kick-off restart is a horror. Goes out on the full. Brett Kamali says, let me have a shot from halfway. Tell you what, Cavell might have a crack at that. Penalty centre of halfway. It's 36-10. They will have a shot to finish the night. And I can tell you, when Luke Cavell first came down to the Tigers on the footy show, the Sunday footy show, we took Luke Cavell out to Concord Oval and had him take shots in the same manner as Ross Conlon used to take them. We actually got Cavell to kick a goal from 55 metres out. So he can do it, and he can do it easily. He does strike the ball very hard.
I think he'll hit it well, and I think he'll get it because there's no pressure.
No pressure at all. No, this is just for a little bit of personal satisfaction and to bump up his own statistics.
Doesn't muck around with it. Luke Cavell just take it like a kick-off. He hasn't got it straight, though. Well, he's managed to kick it 65 metres, but unsuccessful. But it's a big night for Cronulla. That is a big win in finals footy. They have scored 7 tries to 2. Headline performance from the Sharks. 36-10 over Canberra.